Hello, Michiganders. We are still learning about scarcity, opportunity costs, natural resources, human resources, capital resources, and on and on and on. So we're going to continue our learning today. I would like to share with you something in your packet. We talked about that humans have unlimited wants. And so I'd like to share with you an example of that. It's actually in your Michigan history packet. So you can look for that and pause the video if you need to. It looks like this, as you can see on my screen. It says buying a new computer. This is page 14 of 51. And remember, it looks like this. Third grade social studies, this big thick packet, page 14 of 51. So I'm going to read you a little story about this family and see if this makes a good picture in your mind of what unlimited wants sounds like. Herbie's family had an old computer that was always breaking down. They wanted a new computer. So then they bought a new computer that had lots of memory and could be used for lots of things, including storing photographs. Because of that, the family wanted a digital camera. They bought a digital camera and stored their photos on the computer. Then they had so much fun with the camera, they decided they wanted to make their own family's movies. Now they wanted a digital camcorder, which is a camcorder is a video camera. The family bought a digital camcorder and started taking loads of home movies. They stored their movies on the computer. Soon they had so many photographs and movies stored on the computer that they used up all the memory it had. Now the family wanted a new computer with more memory. Do you ever have a time where your wants just continue into wanting more and more? Well, now that I have that, I have to have that. Well, now that I have that, I have to have that. So think about any wants and needs that you had, especially wants before Christmas, and think about if this happened to you. If we turn to page 16, you're going to do a little shopping. On this page, you can see that there's a large Great Lakes shipwreck map poster for $18. Lighthouses of the Great Lakes for $15. Michigan Rocks collection for $8. Video of building the Mackinac Bridge, $20. Michigan Wolverines tabletop football game, $15. I don't know why you'd want anything Michigan, but you know, some of you seem to like that. And then Michiganopoly game for $25. So here are some items on the back as well. Piston Party Pail, so Pistons basketball. Mackinac Island fudge, ooh, don't resist that, $22.45 for a box. Michigan t-shirt, teddy bear with Michigan map. And you can see at the bottom of your page, a notepad and pen for $7, and I'm a Michigan Kid activity book, $8. That's a good book if you ever see it. Okay, so you're going to be looking at those items. I am giving you a total of $60 to spend. Now, this would be normally a project that we would do in class and earn money to be able to do this with a partner. You'll see it's a two-sider. So you are going to play the part of buyer. So do the sheet that says buyer. This is page 18 of 51. So who are you shopping for? You can list yourself or someone else, of course. What are two things you want you most like to buy? What would you most like to buy? Again, you might want to write this down on your page, $60. So we're going to do a little math today too. All right. And then, so what are two of the top things you want to buy? If you're like, I don't want anything, none of that looks good, just try for this activity. Just pick out two things that maybe you don't want it, but someone else might. So you have free $60, just use it. Did you buy your first choice? Why or why not? If not, what did you buy? So for $60, this is where we make choices. And there might be a limited resource, which might be the money. Whoops, I think I hit a key on my computer. 1 second. So this is where we are basically putting into play how do limited resources, which is money, and the things we buy with that money, we may have to make choices. So you might have more than two that you really, really want. If you have 3 or 4 to equal your $60, you can do that. But pick a couple that you really want from there, and then circle the one that you would like most. So you can list your items, circle the one you like most, and then here we go with our opportunity cost and our choices. Did you buy your first choice? Yes or no? If not, what did you buy? And what was your opportunity cost? Now let's take a second and think. What does opportunity cost mean? Oh yeah, it's the thing I didn't choose. So it's the second place, the second thing I wanted most. So play around with that for a few minutes. You do not have to do this side that says seller sheet. This again is a group activity, but we're not doing that. And then what I want you to do next, so we're gonna do a little packet stuff today, is page 20 of 51. You are going to put into practice your scarcity and choice, things that you've been learning. So for example, in the Upper Peninsula, there are not many areas good for farming. There's a lot of land up there, but they don't have good soil for farming. So what is scarce? So what do they have very good of? You would write that down, and I'll write that one as an example. So good soil for farming. And so what's the choice a farmer would have to do? They would have to move or farm somewhere else, maybe the Lower Peninsula where we live. We know we have good soil down here, my farmers, right? Yes. Okay, and then you do these last two. Michigan has a fairly short growing season, or the time when crops can be grown and harvested. Okay, so think of what is scarce in this little scenario, the situation, and then what choice would you have to make because of this? And then this final one, some car factories are outdated and do not have the advanced machinery to produce modern cars. So what will that car factory have to make a choice to do? Because they, people aren't buying the old-fashioned cars. People want the new and improved cars, but your company can't make the new and improved cars. So you have to make a choice. And then finally, on the back of this page, I know this is a lot of workbook pages today, but sometimes you just have to do that. So this is a little story about Sam and Trudy, and they have a business in Michigan. Here are, I just want to point out, these are important little guys right here, number 1 and 2. They will help you to answer these questions. And the final thing I want you to do today is start thinking about, if I had my own business, if I was an entrepreneur like Henry Ford, what kind of thing would I make or create if I had my own business? So I want you to just be brainstorming that, maybe even take a little note on this page somewhere, write a little note, because we're going to be doing some really fun things with that. So start brainstorming, thinking about what could I create and sell. So think about items that you might have at home. You might think, oh, this sounds familiar. You went last year to see Consumers Day in the gym just to take a tour of what we were doing. And people had products. The kiddos made products, 15 to 20 products to sell. Well, obviously, because of COVID, we can't do that, but we are going to do something like that online. So again, just be brainstorming. What kind of things could I make? What kind of things could I sell if I made something? A lot of you have really great talents, so put those into use by making something. Okay, so thank you for watching, Michiganders, and have a great afternoon. And remember that I have tutor time if you need help with any of this. Have a good day.